Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We are approaching the home stretch of the program at the moment. So we just go to our Abuja studio to get perhaps the final thoughts of my guests in Abuja before we close the program. Anti-corruption, that's a major agenda on this government's plan and the programs. The kind of monies that we've seen being bandied, talked about, the EFCC did say that they've recovered, made forfeitures of over 7.6 billion naira, properties worth over 21 billion, and in 8 months that they've made 137 convictions. So far, Mr. Liman, if you weigh in and tie these all up because of our time, how far do you think we have come in this anti-corruption war?
I think we have to first congratulate His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for introducing this Treasury single account, even though the other flip side of it, it does affect the aggregate economy in terms of creating excitement, but it has really blocked a lot of loopholes there. And even this bank verification, I learned that a lot of the former, crooks, both in the services, public-private services and all that, that can explain the source of income. They're beginning to run helter-skelter. So I think that's this, and then the Public Procurement Act itself. These are three key things. If we can now move ahead and see how we can optimize all gamuts of the sectors of the economy, the oil and gas, the mineral sector, the agricultural sector, I think we can go along this. But again, back to the hate speech question that you wanted to ask, which I didn't respond quickly before you went on break. I think basically, as I said, the devil, it's a idle hand playground of the devil. If Nigerians are gainfully employed, all this nonsense talks about people moving away from one part of the country to another, which wouldn't have even arisen in the first place.
All right, Mr. Okori, you are a leadership expert. You talk to people about how things need to be reformed. Some people will say, some will say that political offices are juicy. And this is a big problem, isn't it, for some people who have debated that our political offices should be less attractive. And look at anti-corruption war. How do you think we need to go about this?
My clear thinking is that there needs to be a huge investment in the leadership capital of the Nigerian person. I need to see the quality of the Nigerian persons, rise. When you have men and women who have been groomed by institutions over a period of time, they understand what integrity means. They understand what love for nation means. They understand what the common good means, service. They understand what service is about. And they understand what compassion is about over a period of time. When there's a grooming system, a reorientation of the mind, bringing our values to bear on our behavior patterns. If this is institutionalized over a period of time...
How does this happen? The big question, Mr. Okori, the big question is how, in just about 30 seconds, if you can tell Nigerians, how can this happen?
The only way it can happen is that I want to see government budget clearly working with people like us all over this country to reach out to young people in their high schools, in their communities, as the case may be. In fact, the curriculum of the universities must have, leadership and attitudinal studies that can enhance the quality of the thinking of our young people. In fact, if that happens, issues of hate speech will not even, resurface in the first place, because when you are well groomed, the quality of conversation you have with another person will improve. You will not disrespect another person by the way that you behave towards that person.
Let's conclude the conversation with Mr. Odiofem here. Anti-corruption war, restructuring. These are issues on the table. Where do we go from here as a nation?
Properly speaking, about 60% of monies appropriated by the federal government every year is either stolen or wasted. If you start from there, you will agree that virtually every decision taken at the federal level these days, statutorily, is within the area of corruption. I am not saying this flippantly. I am saying that 60% of the amount appropriated is either stolen or wasted. If you begin from there, then take it to the most extreme situation. A man declares your hometown an oil block and gives it to whoever he pleases, who can then sell it to people in Outer Mongolia, while you, the owner of that hometown, or the person who lives in that hometown, is left high and dry and fallow. If you wish to build a country properly, you start from having a local government system that is producing the means for its own upkeep and gives a fraction to the state government, which gives a fraction to the federal government. The federal government then redistributes. That's what our original founders meant us to do. But in the Nigerian situation, we've reached the point where local governments do not exist in Nigeria.
Mr. Odiofemo, I mean, it's a lovely moment to talk about this issue, but unfortunately, time is not our friend. Many thanks, Mr. Odiofemo, from a private secretary to late Obafemi Awolowo, Mr. Linus Okori, a leadership consultant, and Mr. Gauti Malema, a former presidential candidate. Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure talking to you. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shenwa Kimaloye. Bye for now.